how is this different from the old Republican Party? What's the key differential?
Well, it's a party that's now a multi-ethnic working class coalition. You saw black voters, Hispanic voters, young voters. That was a big one. A much younger composition of the Republican primary base coming together on basic principles that really weren't as beholden to older Republican orthodoxies, but principles like free speech, anti-censorship, meritocracy, staying out of World War III.
The mainstream media is grasping at straws to try and manufacture an angle to make the new Trump administration look bad, look weak, and look as if they're going to do something to harm America, which they just are struggling so hard to do. And today we're going to watch a video of Vivek Ramaswamy just completely dismantling the nonsense that they're trying to create and concoct out of mere nothing. But before we get into that, make sure to subscribe to RTM News, where we give you that raw coverage of what's happening in the media, what's happening in the country. And this is a great time to be alive and experience what's happening in this country. The Trump-Vance win. We're about to see America go in an amazing direction. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
I'll ask you about the unity, and I think you've referred to this as a resurgence of national unity. I'm hearing that from some people around the former president, but I'm hearing a very different message from others around the former president. For example, Mike Davis, who had been mentioned by Donald Trump Jr. as a possible candidate for attorney general in a new Trump administration, has been calling for all-out revenge against Trump's opponents. I want to give you just a couple of examples, and believe me, there are many, but a couple of examples of what he has said on X. He says, Trump's opponents attempted to bankrupt him for non-fraud, imprison him for non-crimes, and take him off the ballot, and take off his head. Now they want unity. F them. Let's unify them in prison. And one more, a short one. Here's my current mood. I want to drag their dead political bodies through the streets, burn them, and throw them off the wall, legally, politically, and financially, of course. Now, Davis has said he's not going in the new administration, but he was a clerk for Justice Gorsuch. And again, Donald Trump Jr. said this is the kind of guy that could be attorney general.
Well, look.
Why? Here's the thing. I don't think Trump should go for people that didn't do anything wrong, but if you did something wrong, if you did something illegal, you did something that was sketch, you should be looked into and you should be held responsible for the actions that you did. But it's so weird how every single mainstream media publication, we just did this a few days ago with another video, I think it was Dana Bash, coming at Jim Jordan or coming at I can't remember who it was exactly, but they are just day in and day out trying to make sure that they're covered. Hey, Trump keeps saying that he's going to come after the people that, like, if you did all those things that he stated, you should reap the consequences of your actions. So why are you trying to make sure, hey, Donald Trump's in office, can we make sure that he doesn't hold people accountable for their actions? I know we really try to make sure that you go to prison. I know there's an assassination attempt. I know we spewed this rhetoric so that those assassination attempts could happen because people seeing him as a threat to democracy. But please just don't hold us accountable. Please don't do anything about it. No, do something about it. I'm not saying imprison people that aren't worthy of being imprisoned, but if you did something sketchy, you should take responsibility for that and receive the consequences to your actions. That is just how it should work. And it seems like every person in mainstream media is scared. So it's making me wonder, what did you do? Or did you do something? Why are you trying to make sure that nothing is done to the people that tried to everything within their power to stop Trump from getting where he is right now? It's interesting. Let's hear what Vivek has to say.
The fact of the matter is, you haven't heard that from Donald Trump, and you could airlift any quote from a number of people on the left who aren't very happy with the election result either, but who aren't going into the Harris-Biden administration in their trailing days either. What you're hearing from Donald Trump is he is going to be a president for all Americans. He is a guy who, in that first term, he had crowds chanting, lock her up for Hillary Clinton. He didn't prosecute her. I think Donald Trump is focused on what makes people's lives better. And actually, my message to Democrats out there, even those who didn't vote for Donald Trump, is to give them a chance to actually make your life better. And I think a lot of people across the country, even who have bought into, I think, some false narratives about Donald Trump, are going to be pleasantly surprised as to finding more money in their paycheck, prices coming down in the country, a secure border. Those are things most Americans actually care about. And I think it's time to turn the page on a lot of these histrionics or Hitler comparisons or airlifting some quote of some person who Donald Trump.
I mean, this is somebody who's been pretty.
And that's why we voted for him. All the things that Vivek Ramaswamy just stated is why he was put into office, because we want to see more on our paycheck. We want to see life become more safe, secure. We want to see America become more safe and secure. We're so sick of what we've been dealing with currently with the Biden-Harris administration. So it's yes, that is why we voted for him. We didn't vote for him because we wanted him to release persecution on all the people that came for him. Although if he wants to do that, that's his prerogative. If you did something illegal or did something wrong to try and ruin that man's life, career, like, yeah, sucks to suck. Shouldn't have done it.
A staunch defender of Trump, pretty close to the team.
And by your acknowledgement, someone who's not coming into the administration.
Okay, so all the talk of retribution, is that gone now? And by the way, I've heard you say that he didn't prosecute Hillary Clinton. I mean, I've talked to Bill Barr about this. He wanted the Justice Department to prosecute, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and they kind of pulled him back. But your sense is that retribution talk is done?
I'm going to tell you what Donald Trump has said on this time and again. Success will be our retribution. Success will be our vengeance. That's a direct line from Donald Trump. It's a beautiful sentiment. And I do think that success is unifying. Nothing's going to unite this country more than economic growth. Nothing is going to unite this country more than people feeling like their wages are rising at a faster pace than prices, which hasn't been the case for the last few years. And here's a big one that I know a lot of Democrats should support and do support as well, is restoring stability and peace on the global stage. I mean, the reality is the United States of America is at our best when the chief diplomat of the United States is the democratically elected U.S. president. That's not the case right now. It hasn't been for 4 years. That changes on January 20th, bringing us off the brink of major conflicts in other parts of the world. So I think that those are going to unite the country regardless of partisan affiliation. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Vivek is so well articulate. He's able to completely dismantle any sort of attack that's come his way and be able to bring the receipts for every time to try and say, well, he did say this. Well, no, we're going to go with what he actually said. Okay, you can sit there and try and act as if retribution is going to be dealt to you, as if there's going to be some sort of attack on all the people that attacked him. What he said is our success will be our retribution. Our retribution will be success. Whichever way it was stated. The point is, that is where we get our revenge. That is where we get even. Is that we proved that this was a better administration, and the people that knew what they were doing were in the Trump administration before, and this next Trump administration is going to be even better. That is how we get our retribution. That is how we save America. Success will be our retribution. And I really appreciate that Vivek is able to handle himself when people are coming at him with nonsense time in and time out. But we're not done, guys. There is another little bit to this interview where the guy continues to try and do this mainstream media thing where they're not trying to actually have a conversation or come to an understanding of anything. There's always some angle, and Vivek is not the one you want to come out when it comes to that. So let's get into it.
Heard you say that this is a new Republican Party. So in brief, how is this different from the old Republican Party? What's the key differential?
Well, it's a party that's now a multi-ethnic working class coalition. You saw black voters, Hispanic voters, young voters. That was a big one. A much younger composition of the Republican primary base coming together on basic principles that really weren't as beholden to older Republican orthodoxies, but principles like free speech, anti-censorship, meritocracy, staying out of World War III. These are some of the common threads that brings together what is a pretty diverse and broad tent coalition to restore those basic constitutional principles. Here's a big one, and Donald Trump's talked for a long time about the deep state. But this idea of restoring self-governance is big in this new coalition. The idea that the people we elect to run the government, they haven't been the ones actually running the government for a very long time. Donald Trump is going to be the president of the United States in the real sense of that word, capital P president, where he is actually making the decisions with the democratic will of the people behind him, not the unelected bureaucratic class underneath him. And I think that's something that unites a common thread of even former Democrats to independents, to libertarians, to, of course, traditional Republicans as well. I think that that's a common thread that unites us.
That's all we want, man. We don't want there to be some sort of elitist, bureaucratic, power at the top, sitting here pulling the strings and doing what it is they think is best for America, or what it is that is going to bring more money into their pockets. Meanwhile, the American people are struggling, and they have each talking head from each side, the uniparty, that is just sitting there spouting talking points, creating arguments, aligning on only one thing that is generating them income, or doing something that is sketchy. We want someone who's going to put the American people first, who's actually going to be who we voted into office, because guess what? As a government official, you work for the American people, not the other way around. We put you in that leadership position because we think you're going to be able to do the best job for what we want to be done. And I think Donald Trump already proved himself in his first administration. And in the second one, he's going to do the exact same thing, and even more and even better. And I'm so happy that Vivek Ramaswamy, I think this just came out today, Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk that has been announced that they will lead the Department of Government Efficiency. Together, these two wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration, Trump says, to dismantle government bureaucracy / excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies. So they're about to do how Elon Musk cut half of Twitter staff or more. I think it was 70% or 90% of the staff. And guess what? It's still the #1 news source. It's still an app that is like the most popular app in the world. And he cut so much unnecessary spending through staff that was not needed. So I cannot wait to see what Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy do. Is going to be chef's kiss. I almost can't believe we are living in this America. Like this is almost feels not real, but I'm so happy, and I know you are too. Make sure to leave a comment if you enjoyed this video. Let us know your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe, liking, engaging, because that's what pushes these videos to the algorithm, and I know you want to see more of this. So until next time, peace.